Oh. Get. Hey, come here. Lock you up. So that's getting the felt off. That's the easy part. Now's the goo. Sludge. So I try to go with the grain of the wood, but occasionally you just get more off by going sideways. And there's plenty of crap on the floor to protect them there, not to really scrape that directly because of all this adhesive. If you get the grain off, here, let me put this. So what I was saying was, you know, I try to go with the grain of the wood, but occasionally, you know, you just get more off by going sideways. And at this stage, there's so much goo and adhesive and stuff on the floor that you're really not, you know, scraping at the wood floor directly. You don't want the water to soak in for too long because you don't want it all the way into the wood. It does kind of lift the stain out that was used on these. If you get some of this felt off and it's a little moist, and you don't lift it off the floor and get it, you know, in a pan or something, rather quickly, you know, within a few minutes, it starts to kind of like melt back into the floor. So keeping the area, getting everything off of it once you've lifted it is important. I try to keep the scraper pretty straight and do even pressure across it, but it's caused this ring finger to lock up, and so like when I wake up in the morning, it's permanently locked in this position, and it because I'm putting that pressure on that finger here to keep it straight. But that I've found has kept it from jabbing into the floor like you would at that angle, you know, like that. And it's just really tedious. Goo, sludge. It's water soluble, so what I'm using is just a spray water bottle I tried just kind of doing a larger area, pouring a lot of water on it, but then kind of ended up soaking into the wood too much, and I felt this was a little bit more controlled. I found that a bent handle scraper works better. This is one's from Lowe's, than a straight edge scraper, because you do tend to, it gives you a little bit more push power, and you seem less likely to jab into the floor, because those jabs, if you do that, which I don't think I've done any here, you're going to have to sand down to that point, and the less sanding that you have to do, the better. You want to preserve as much of that wood as you can. Of course, this is 60-year-old adhesive that's on here. See, that was a jab that was an accident. Not too big of one, but that's how easy it is to jab in. Thankfully, I've been doing this now on this floor for so long that I kind of don't tend to do it as often as I did when I first started. As far as trying to use a razor blade on it, like a razor scraper, here, I'll show you like this one. Here's a razor scraper thing by Titan. You can, but it's so sharp that you kind of tend to jab at the floor more, and it gets hung up and stuck. And so I only try to use this on, you can't see it here, but there's some hard, stuff on the edges that really just very gently needs to be scraped off. I found that a regular razor blade doesn't work as well as the steel blades that have kind of a pyramid shape. Those are stronger, and if you can dull it down on something first, scrape on some plywood or something, it's a little bit better than when it's super sharp, but you don't want it too dull, because then you have to use too much force and you'll jab it. So these are, I think, best reserved for small spots, and better when the floor is dry than when it's wet like this, because the wood is a little softer, and you tend to jab more than you should. So yeah, back to the bent handle scraper. I mean, I've tried all different scrapers, and this seemed to work the best for my purposes. I'm certain you could have a large one that you stand up and handle, and really scrape it off like that. But at that point, I've been doing that with other things, and I just felt this is a little bit more controlled. You're a little bit less likely to really hurt the floor, and I just felt it did a better quality, maybe you should call it quality job